Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abbie.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts,
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
Whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Hey, welcome to episode 56.
Hey,
We're
hey.
so glad you're here.
Hey, ho, ho.
Hey. What's happening? Like the little, what is he, a chicken or a duck or what? What is Hey in Moana? He's a chicken, right?
Yes.
But he's like a really skinny chicken that
Now,
eats rocks.
What do you think will Hey be in Moana 2 that was just announced?
How could he not be? He was a good character. Maybe they'll have another
You know,
awkward
originally
animal.
Moana was thought to be a series. It was going to be a series on Disney Plus,
Uh-huh.
and then they kind of surprised everyone just with the
Full length.
movie. Moana 2.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like kind of a big deal. That was something that just came out this week.
Yeah, you know, though, when Moana came out, I felt like it was like, whoa. Like, we hadn't seen, I guess Frozen had come out, and that was great. But, like, I feel like there had been a bit of a gap before Moana came out, and that was, like, a big deal. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Heidi and I saw that in theaters, like, multiple times.
I just watched a fourth-fifths of it because I fell asleep at the end.
Notorious.
But going back, before we get into our show, we just want to say that this week can go expletive itself because this has been a tough one for us here at the DHE headquarters.
What do you mean? It's been amazing. I don't have after skunk smell that happens every few minutes. What?
So, on Tuesday, the celebration of the day of my birth, as we're waking up, I let the dogs go outside, and I'm going to do things. I'm again, bringing Abby coffee, and then I'm like, oh, I smell skunk, and then I run out.
Worst.
I hear the dogs barking, and
It was horrific.
they had it
both
pinned,
right in the face.
They had it pinned underneath the vehicle in our driveway, and it was just getting them both. Yeah.
You know what I've just realized? We haven't even gone into that particular vehicle to try to fix it.
Yeah. It's been too much.
That was too much. We've been so busy fixing the issues in the house with the smell.
So as if that wasn't bad enough, which has been a multiple day.
Terrible.
Right? Because we spent all day Tuesday, cleaning, and then
So, and just a side note, Monday I told Rob he had to come home from work early because one of our kids was sick. And so I couldn't manage everything. So it's already started off to be like this week from hell, right?
Yeah.
So then Tuesday morning, skunked.
it was like skunks and all right, the kids aren't going to school because
it was too much.
It was too much.
Because we knew that they were going to smell. We knew certain items smelled. And so it was just...
So
forget
we were
about it.
doing all that and working, and Abby was trying to prepare. Abby was being a really awesome wife and trying to make me feel as my birthday as special as possible amongst all this mess.
Gosh.
So she was busy doing stuff, and
it seems to always happen on our birthdays that somebody gets sick or something happens, and our family can't come over.
Yeah.
So and that's all who we invite right for our birthdays. So it's happened for multiple birthdays now, and it's starting to get personal. Universe, what's going on?
So I was on top of that. So Bailey being sick, she also had strep, not an official diagnosis, but that was the unofficial diagnosis was strep throat.
Yep.
So we had that Wednesday. We tried to bring the kids to school.
That's right. So I met the school nurse outside of the school because she said this has happened before where the moms think that they've gotten all the skunk smell out, but they really haven't. So I was positive. Like I had spent all day washing and crazy and, spraying and spritzing everything. And the nurse gave us the no-go.
So
you will not be admitted.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Go back home,
I was so
family.
surprised. I had like my bags. I'm ready to go to work, and I'm like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Right. So this was like a true husband and wife moment, and Rob might be upset that I'm sharing this, but
Like,
I called him because I was like just out of my mind. Like, what do I do? And I'm just like, I have these kids in the car and I'm so stressed out. And like, oh my gosh, like what? I'm just bringing them to work now because now we're going to smell up the office. And Rob's response was,
I'm sorry.
No. It was like, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this.
But in any case, there was just like total silence, and like, of course, like what is he supposed to say, right? Nothing. Like there's nothing you can say at that moment. He was already in his office, and so I had to bring the kids to mine, and
but
then
asterisk, because at the moment there was no one in my office. Then when someone came in. And I asked them, does this smell like skunk in here? They're like, yeah, it does.
So basically, they're like, please leave.
So
Rob.
I was like, all right, I'm packing up. Packed up my laptop and came home. And Abbie, I'm coming to get the kids.
Yeah. So he came all the way to my office, which is really out of the way.
Yeah,
and
really. It's only 20 minutes.
Got the kids and brought them home. And I just made everybody in my office suffer. Now, throughout the day, I realized that it was my cell phone case that had the biggest smell of all, because when I was washing the dogs so many times to get the skunk smell off, I think the smell really seeped into my hands. And what do I touch all the time? I touch my cell phone, and the cell phone cases are plastic, and the plastic holds that smell so bad. So I had to throw out my cell phone case. So then comes
so we're just like, at this point you're just kind of shot, and and then I think it was just like towards the end of the day, and then Heidi started complaining like, I have a sore throat. You're like, oh,
and I'm telling you, when I got back, I looked in her, because I went to Walmart and got more cleaning supplies. And when I got back, I looked in her throat, and you guys, it was like classic every strep throat picture you ever looked at online, like ever. Like it was, wow, it was a different universe in there, I'm telling you. And so
we're trying.
I was like,
Abby tried to like call, like immediately
right away.
Call the doctor, and it was like too late. Like they just closed their office. You're like, oh God, all right.
Yeah. So here we are.
And then you're now like, you have to take another day.
I have to take
Somebody
another
had to take another day off. And unfortunately, Abby usually draws the short straw on that front. So she took Abby. She took Heidi to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, she tested positive for strep.
Yep. Like pretty much right away. And the doctor also said, she's like, wow, this is a classic case of everything that strep looks like.
And as soon as she said that, as soon as Abby texted me, oh yeah, Heidi has strep, I felt a twinge just in the back of my throat. And now throughout the course of the day, I'm getting worse. And then now I also have strep throat. So I had to take Friday off. It was just, I don't know.
Meanwhile, we're still cleaning, and I'm like just discovering the smell coming from new places, and I'm like, what is going on?
That's the thing with the skunks, is that you always kind of lose the scent of it, but then all of a sudden you just get it.
It just comes back
and
again.
Then you don't know what it is, and then we're like cleaning the dogs constantly, and bathing them's not help, and it's just, what a nightmare.
Yeah, every time they get wet, which of course it's raining today, the smell like duplicates. And
so anyway, that was our long introduction, and I'm just saying that as far as I'm concerned, this week can go crash into itself like a Skyliner.
Yeah, it was a doozy.
So
here we are.
That's
two parents exhausted by sick children, skunks.
So, and that kind of leads
life.
into, right? That's maybe we could call that a weird but true.
That's true, because we're talking about weird but true events that happened at Disney. Are you ready?
And there was a little bit of foreshadowing, if you didn't catch that.
Oh, I heard it. All right. Well, we're going to actually start off with animatronics gone wrong, because I think we've all at some point in our life seen some sort of strange animatronic. But my favorite story was over at the Carousel of Progress. And yes, Rob, I'm going to make you go on the Carousel of Progress this year.
Wait, how does that song go again?
It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Oh,
Anyways.
if you could see the finger movements right now, it's worth it. It makes it all the better.
Well, this ride is a really big favorite to many people who like swear by it, go to it every year, while others are just like, what is the Carousel of Progress still around? Right?
Where is it?
Because it's
where is it?
I have no idea. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've been because nobody will go. I know we pass it.
Where does it lie?
Anyways, in 2020, John Progress, who is the animatronic narrator and main character of the attraction, lost a hand. But it wasn't just like he lost a hand and it was like by his side. It was like it was mid. His arms were up in the air, like kind of at a, let's say like they were, what would you call this? Where your arms are. They're kind of like bent so that the hands are up in the air in front of him. Yeah, and the hand clearly fell off. But not only did it fall off, it fell off on the ground like next to the family dog that's also an animatronic. So it almost starts to look like this kind of different scene, if you know what I'm saying. The dog's so happy with this weird hand next to him, right? So yeah, just lying around, just a little weird there. But obviously,
and that's weird but true.
Something they could fix. Now this other animatronic I'm going to talk about was actually a really big deal. Back in 2018, another Disney animatronic had made headlines when she lost her head. The Ursula animatronic at Disney California Adventures from the Little Mermaid attraction was captured on video singing while her head was dangling from her body. So Ursula's famous line, "Don't underestimate the importance of body language," had made a play into this incident for sure. It looked pretty serious because when I'm saying like dangling from her head, I mean the head was hanging by wires and still talking and singing while hanging. Very, very creepy.
Well, all I know is that Ursula will never be head of the class.
Nice, babe. Nice.
It's probably going to be hard for her to get ahead in life.
Dad jokes to the max. Very nice. Well, all of these things, like I love to see them because it's like ever since I was a child and went on these rides, right? I think I've said here that my first ride that I remember going on was the Haunted Mansion where the room stretches. And as a curious kid, I'm just like looking around being like, this is scary AF, but how does it work? I need to know how it works. And so I love to see weird little glitches or like rides with the lights on and things like that just to get to know how it's going. But it does change your perspective. So it takes a little bit of the magic out of it. I'm not going to lie.
I would never want to see that Ursula thing because, that just sounds...
Yeah, it makes it very different. Now, the Ursula over in Orlando, when it first came, I was so impressed with how it looked. I think they were using like kind of new body skin for her that really moved very well. So I can only imagine like seeing that like, crazy. But then if you think about it, if you saw a head like hanging off or anything in the Haunted Mansion, like would you even blink? You'd just be like, oh, that's part of the ride, right?
Yes. I would expect to see
like weird
no-headed people
things happening over there.
But not under the sea.
Not under the sea. You want to take the next one away since you already alluded at it?
Now we're talking about the
to it.
Yeah. The Skyliner.
Dun,
We're gonna call
dun,
them
dun.
Skyliner Scaries. I like it. I like the
Yeah.
alliteration. See now this is
Oh,
see,
sorry.
this
These
is-
are my notes.
She's written it in her as if she's saying it.
It's so
No.
true. So
You go for
I
it.
would say if anyone asked me what the scariest ride at Disney was, it would be the Skyliner.
Which is all right. That is strange but true.
You have
That's the weird but true.
no.
That's,
It's weird but true.
yeah.
There's just like you have to fully trust that, especially when you're over the water, that this Skyliner is working properly. Like you just have to trust it like crazy.
Yeah, but
Any
that's-
other ride, like I mean, even when we were stuck in what is that, Peter Pan, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, if I jump out of this, I can probably land on my two legs, right? No,
Well-
if you have to jump out of the Skyliner while it's over that water, you're jumping into little crocodiles' mouths, like real ones.
Yeah, but
okay,
that's,
so
but that's
ooh.
also, I mean, but that's anything. I mean, you get stuck on Expedition Everest, and what are you gonna do?
You're gonna walk down because you can put your feet on anything
All right,
in
what
that
if you
ride.
get stuck on the monorail?
I don't know. I feel like that's like a little less scary.
No, that's
You're not over water. You're not over unknown
you're just-
things. You're
you're
really
just
not
30
that high on the
It's only
Skyliner.
like 30. On
I
the
mean, I'm
monorail?
sorry, on the monorail.
Yeah, it's only like 30 feet up, and it's okay.
It's way not as high as the Skyliner. In any case, I don't know. I gasp, right? Especially as we're going into the stations of the Skyliner because you're going in pretty fast. But anyways, I mean, this is all because of the crash in 2019, the Skyliner crash. This was a big one because only a few weeks after the Skyliner opened, 2 gondolas crashed into each other at the Riviera Resort Station after a power outage. So that was kind of weird. And it caused the guests of the rest of the Skyliner to be suspended in the air for hours. Like I'm talking like 3 hours here. Passengers told CNN that they were left hanging for about 3 hours. Sorry, I just said that ahead of time. And the Reedy Creek Fire Department arrived about 45 minutes after the ride had stalled. Now, okay. So the other thing that we have to say about the Skyliner is that if you're there on a hot day and the sun's beating down on you and you're not moving, it's like you're in a freaking oven. It's hot in there. Right? Ooh.
It can be, thankfully. Yeah, that means
but when you're moving, the air goes through, and
Yes.
it's really good. So, anyways, back
it
to
must
this.
get pretty stinky in there.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Passengers were told that they could open the emergency kits under the seats, and they had water and first aid supplies. The emergency black box kits revealed that they contained glow sticks, packaged water, and human waste containers. So this actually kind of brought me to my next thought before I knew about these kits, is that like, oh my gosh, you're getting stuck in there for 3 hours. I would have to pee like at least 3 times. So
Well, you'd probably
those
be-
waste containers are mine. Thank you.
You'd probably be sweating out the majority of that.
That's true. So 76 people were evacuated and 3 patients were treated. Only 1 was taken to the hospital, but the 2 others refused. So no harm done. But
Like, I am not going to the hospital. I have a Genie Plus for 7 Doors Mine Train that I have to go to.
I got reservations.
Yeah.
Heck no. In 2021, again, 2 gondolas crashed into each other. And it did result in some shattered glass at the station. Luckily, no one was inside those gondolas at the time, but it was also at the Riviera Resort Station.
Yeah, so
What is happening there?
So there's really no way to bypass that, but you're in trouble. Riviera.
The Riviera.
Shattered glass and shattered dreams on the Skyliner.
Well, another weird but true. The sinking Jungle Cruise of
Yes.
2020.
Sinking Jungle Cruise.
We heard a lot about this one.
I mean, we're not just talking about the one that the monkeys are driving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could have joined in and been fine there. So it is funny that the skippers on this ride joke constantly about
Yeah.
being your swimming instructors.
I would just like to add that she's editing her notes mid-sentence while she realized there's a typo and she's adjusting it.
I see where this is going.
Well,
in February of 2020, you want me to edit that one too? One boat went from floating to sunk in about a minute. According to a passenger, everyone was fine and rescued within 20 minutes. From the pictures, though, it really looks like the boat took on a lot of water and it didn't truly sink. Trust me, I've seen some sunk boats and that was not sunk. So it wasn't fully underwater. The boat... I'm going to murder this. It was called Boma Kandi Bertha.
I like it.
Sank at approximately 12:30 p.m. and the ride was shut down for only about 105 minutes to unload the rather wet passengers and tow away the sinking boat. So some speculated, because this was in 2020, that this was a publicity stunt to promote the Disney's upcoming Jungle Cruise movie. What do you think of that?
I mean, unless like The Rock came in to save those people that were sinking.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Why would this?
Yeah,
why?
That doesn't
it seems like
sense.
an awful lot of,
and
fuss.
it just so happened to be a boat that was skipped by Emily Blunt.
There you go.
Yeah.
So they did get to see the underside of water.
Oh, boy.
Before this incident, the only other sinking boat reported was in 2004 when the Sankuru Sadie sank after taking on too much water. So similar situation.
Gotcha.
And in 2023 over at Disneyland, a boat got completely stuck mid-ride and was immovable. So this boat, again, got hooked up by another boat and tugged the passengers along. And they were making jokes about how it was saving gas, which is totally something that they would joke about.
I'm sure the Skips had a bunch. They must have like ride breakdown jokes that they go to.
They must. They really must. This was a weird one. Really weird. Weird but true. I didn't know about this. Being a Disney junkie, it's really interesting that I didn't know about this one. Did you know about this one?
I did not.
They had a pool put in down Main Street in Disneyland in 2004. Crazy, but they did it. So Disneyland constructed a 164-foot pool, 3 lanes wide and 3.5 feet deep down Main Street to host Olympic athletes.
Why is it only 3.5 feet deep?
Well, because they don't really need to stand, right? They're just kind of swimming.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
I don't know. That just seems like it's way too low. Like they're going to be like 3.5 feet.
Yeah,
like
they're going to be like skimming the bottom or something. Well, I don't know. How much do they really need to do it?
I mean, at least 6 feet. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I'm like trying to measure my arms and think like if I'm like swimming, like do I need more than 3.5 feet to swim? I don't know. So the Olympic athletes were going on a multi-city tour and Disney really wanted in on the action. So this pool held 104,000 gallons of water and was heated to 80 degrees. Why? Well, it seems like a lot of trouble, but it only took them about 30 hours to get up in there. I just can't imagine how much money it cost, but they really wanted to get in on that. And if you look at the pictures from them, it was fantastic and crowded, and what a scene to see. They had the name Disneyland printed down the middle of the pool, so it was definitely like for publicity. And the swimmers completed in a relay, and the pool was only used for 1 hour. I wonder if any guests try to get into it.
Yeah, I've got many questions and lots of comments that I'm going to reserve.
Okay. Did you know Michael Phelps was one of the swimmers that was in this pool?
Get out of here.
Yeah, 2004. Seems like so long ago, but he was.
I mean, it was 20 years ago.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Help me. Okay, so...
Wow. She's had an existential life crisis right in the middle of the podcast.
I think you're going to have to take this next one, babe.
So long, Beatles, or Beatles, as some people might say it.
Mm-hmm.
So on December 29th, 1974, John Lennon dissolved the Beatles by contract at the Polynesian resort.
That is weird, but true.
Weird, but true. I mean, of all the places, right? It is said that room...
You know what's even weirder that I didn't write in here is that John Lennon, I'm so confused. Apparently I'm not up on the John Lennon, Yoko Ono, where they went in life, because he was at Disney World with his mistress that he had apparently been with for like 10 years, but like his son was only 8. I'm so confused. Hey, I never knew that he had another mistress, because they all say like Yoko Ono was like the reason why the Beatles broke. I'm gonna have to do some more music history because. Okay.
And stay tuned for our Beatles podcast. Going down the Yellow Submarine with Abbie. And that just took a weird title. Okay. So back to what I was saying before I was not rudely interrupted. It is said that room 1601 at Disney's Polynesian Resort is where John Lennon stayed and signed these breakup docs, as they are so called. Which isn't that like a thing now in like dating life, where the people have like they like sign like waivers that we are no longer together?
Do they?
I don't know. They sign things that we're getting right. Don't they sign things like we're now dating, or I don't know. It's dating. Imagine. This room is located at the bottom corner of the Samoa Longhouse that faces the Magic Kingdom.
That's right. It does. Now it looks different because now they have those water bungalows, which obviously weren't there. So the view is a little bit obstructed. But back in the day, it was really nice.
The Beatles had been kind of unofficially like broken up since like 1969, is they didn't believe whether the moon landing was true or not. So that's I was just talking to see if she was paying attention. If she was looking at her phone, so I didn't know what she was.
I was paying attention because I looked up, because that was weird.
But this document that John Lennon signed, that did have to be signed by all of the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it did. So they signed it prior.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So when he signed it,
it was the official.
That was it.
We're done. Goodbye, Beatles. We no longer work together. Yeah. Kind of interesting.
No one's holding their hand.
No. Weird but true. This one's really weird but true. Right. I would have never thought this. The pardoned turkey. So I don't know if you knew this, but they pardon a turkey at the White House every year.
That is true.
And it's supposed to be like they don't eat that turkey. So this started way back in the 1940s. However, it's been said that they would pardon, and I put this in quotes, pardon the turkey, but really that turkey was going to get eaten anyways in life. But I'm saying, the idea really didn't go into actual action until the 1980s, when the birds would live out their lives instead of get eaten, usually in a petting zoo or similar. During the Bush and Obama administration, so from 2005 to about 2009, the pardoned turkeys were sent to either Disneyland Resort or Walt Disney World Resort, where they served as the honorary grand marshals of Disney's Thanksgiving Day Parade down Main Street.
Nice.
Once the birds were taken to Disney, they were given expert care, which started with dietary adjustments to help them lose weight for better health.
Some fat turkeys.
Yeah, so at that point, as a turkey, would you be like, dang it, Disney, I don't want to go on a diet.
Yeah, I mean, that would, like I got a lease on life, and now
kind of crazy. I don't know. According to Inside the Magic, when May and Flower, those are turkeys' names, were pardoned by President Bush in 2007, they were flown to Florida. The two, chosen via voting online, were shuttled by Turkey One, a special flight named in their honor, courtesy of United Airlines. some serious business here.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Do you think these turkeys flew first class?
I do. I think they did, considering that, like, right? They're the turkeys. United Airlines probably was using this as a big promo. I wonder if they were like the only things on the plane.
The only turkeys I know of are the United Airlines executives.
Oh, boy. So the names of the turkeys that have been saved over the years were Marshmallow and Yam in 2005, Flyer and Fryer in 2006, May and Flower, as we mentioned, in 2007, Pumpkin and Pecan in 2008, and Courage and Carolina in 2009. Now you might be asking, they only pardon one turkey, right? Well, they started pardoning two just in case one got sick so that the other one could be the pardoned turkey. So there you go.
Interesting. I like to pardon that story.
I thought it was a good one.
It was.
So here's our last one that I wanted to end on. And I don't have too much to say other than this is definitely going to be a story that our grandchildren talk about, because Disney Paris was known to be a COVID vaccine site for a little bit of time, which I think is really interesting. So in 2021, Disneyland Paris became a mass COVID-19 vaccination site, and the idea was to quicken the pace of the vaccine rollout after a slow start and surge in COVID-19 cases. Now, it wasn't held within the theme park because Disney had been closed, but it was held outside of the Disney's Newport Bay Club Hotel. They wanted to inoculate 1,000 individuals every Saturday and Sunday, and that's what they did. Disneyland Resort in California also had opened a max vaccination site in their parking lot in January of 2021.
See, I envision more something like people are like, hey, do you want to get on Space Mountain? Yeah. Well, roll up your sleeve because prick, and then there you go.
And then there you go. And that was your admittance to Space Mountain, huh?
Yep.
Interesting, but I feel like more pictures and more ideas of this will come out. I think because it was such a scary time, we're still kind of not talking too much about it because it's also a very political thing.
Yes,
but
it is.
How interesting. It's definitely going to be talked about in the future that Disney opened their doors and lots to help save the people.
Hey, they got space. They got to do it.
There you go. That's all my weird but true.
I had one. I was doing a bunch of. I was looking for some. And you find a lot of things just like people getting in fights. Doing this and weird things. There was somebody. There was a. I heard both sides. Whether it was a mother or a father, they wanted to ride the aforementioned Space Mountain. And they were going in with a duffel bag, and the cast members didn't want the person to ride. They were like, "Oh, you're not able to bring that duffel bag on. It's too big to bring on the ride. Could you leave it on the side?" The guy refused, or the person refused, and the reason why they refused because they were sneaking their infant. On the ride, yeah. They wanted to bring the infant on the ride, and they had no one to take care of it, so they wanted to go on the ride.
Child swap? What's that?
I mean, I don't know, unless they were rolling solo. People are crazy.
God.
So, yeah, that was one thing. Even though I really couldn't get confirmation on that, it was more just on these various sites that are things you never believe that happened to Disney. But the one thing that I know did happen was back in this was 2014, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train there was a fire.
But, where though?
It was it was outside of the ride, but because there's lots of trees and foliage that surround it, and so there was the fireworks show, the Magic Kingdom fireworks show went off, and the embers from the fireworks show caught into one of these trees, and then the part of the ride went on fire. So what happened at the end of the day is at the park, and the ride ended up opening, again, because it must have been a late night.
I wonder how often that happens, though, that embers kind of toast something over there because, or anywhere, because we saw, in the backstage, you see how they kind of have water running all the time on top of the buildings to keep it moist.
When Abbie and I went on our travel age AEP trip, they ushered us out. We took a bus. We went to a backstage area, and there were just all these plastic tents. They're huge, covering buildings, these huge plastic tents covering multiple storied buildings, and there was just water running down them all the time. And at first you're thinking why is there water?
Yeah, it's not raining. What's going on?
And it's because
it was right after the fireworks.
After the Epcot fireworks, so worried about the embers.
That makes sense. So weird.
Weird, but true.
But true. Well, what's going on in the world over there?
What is happening? We got the Phantom Menace is coming back into theaters, the 25th anniversary.
Oh.
Of the Phantom Menace.
Are you excited about that?
I am not.
Okay.
I will not be I can't even bring the kids to that. I'm sorry. They're not going to enjoy it.
True.
They're not. I'd have to bribe them to go see that movie, and rightfully so. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Tiana's Bayou. They're removing scaffolding. They're shaping foliage. Again, the word that I can't say. That's something. There's a new limited time Bananas Foster beignets are available for Mardi Gras at the Disney's Port Orleans Resort.
That's exciting. And they're going to have their little Mardi Gras parade coming up here on Tuesday, right?
Is that the golf carts?
For the golf cart floats. The first time this year, they are going to allow guests to take pictures with the floats at the end and meet the cast members who created them, which is really cool.
This is all information that you can be found in the Magical Minute this week.
That's right.
Go check it out wherever you get videos.
YouTube, TikTok, our Facebook page,
Instagram,
all the places.
MySpace. It's one of our top 8. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. So then the other, there wasn't a lot going on in Disney, but there was updates to the 2024 Garden Rocks concert series.
Ooh.
New acts.
Okay. Who's coming?
Now, I had a whole thing that I was going to do a bit, but as you can see, my voice is getting bad, but I'm still going to try it anyway, so.
Okay, brace yourself.
Bear with me, right? So this is one of the new acts for the Garden Rocks series is Modern English. You know what Modern English?
Nope.
Okay.
He's doing it, guys.
I stopped this concert 'cause it sucks. I've seen better concerts and I'd rather be there right now.
Okay, I know exactly what you're singing.
Okay, yeah, Modern English. I melt with you. Okay. So that was one of them. There was a group called Fonseca. I have no idea what they are. Another band called Crowder, but they have a bunch of. I mean, this lineup is kind of. They have Rick Springfield is in there.
Okay.
So. I wish that I was at another concert. I wish I was seeing something better. Jesse's Girl, I don't know. Let's see. There was the Flock of Seagulls.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what they sound like though, but I know who they are.
And I ran so far away.
Yep.
From this concert series lineup. There was
pretty amazing.
We have the Plain White Tees we talked about before. Hey Delilah, and then there was one of the new additions is the 2000s kind of alt rocky band Lit. And now right as you say that, I lost the tune in my head. Nope, I lost it. I can't remember how I was going to sing it. It was going to be a good one.
I'm sorry. But that was great. That was a great lineup. Thanks, babe.
You are welcome. Then over in Universal, again, not too much. there is a roller coaster spider figure appears in DreamWorks Land.
Yay!
It's about the most exciting thing
That's happened over there.
Exactly.
Slow
There's
going.
a spider. There is a spider. But then it's a big, obviously, Mardi Gras is the big thing that's happening
huge.
over there. And what do you have to say about Mardi Gras?
Oh, it's so fun over at Universal. They have so many food booths, and I mean, you can't go wrong at any of them. They are got the music, they got the beads, they got everything you could possibly want. It's just a fun time. Make sure you go if you can. That's all I got to say.
That's all you got to say about that. And just one note, going back to that concert series, I'm making fun of it. All those people are talented musicians. They're doing things that I can never do. I'm not. I don't want you to think I'm just being a D or anything like that. Anyway, I was just having fun trying to make light of a situation. But then again, who's actually going to Disney to see those concerts?
I don't know. I mean, because of the way we did our drink around the world, we ended up there, I think, for a short amount of time just because we needed a break. So,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. One other thing was that
He's fading fast, guys.
Yeah, so this will be the last story. There was they just added a new monster makeover experience at Universal Studios Florida.
No way.
And what it was you would, sign up and you would go through the process of being like kind of turned into a monster of some sort.
That's so cool. Yeah. I remember about this happening. Yeah. That was in the past, though. Did they bring it back?
They did.
Okay.
So it's brought back. It's $125.
Okay.
And they have a professional makeup artist come and kind of make you up for the day or the night, whatever it is.
But then where are you going to go looking like a monster?
Just walking around Universal, I guess.
That's a bit strange.
Is it worth it? So now they started it, and it's already the last reservations are already being made.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
It's limited time only.
Okay, huh?
And that's really all about it. That's what I got.
That's all right. It's kind of like we're just gearing into this different season. We've got the Festival of the Arts still going on. You know what I didn't know and I found out this week is that when the painting, how everybody gets a number and gets to go over to paint their boxes and stuff over at the Festival of Arts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
On the mural wall.
Yes.
When it fills up, they just paint over it and do it again. Doesn't that feel like it's cheating?
I just want to make that loop.
That's so interesting. I'm like, what? But people work so hard to get that mural up there. Yeah. Well.
So it's really all about the effort that they're making.
I guess, and they don't want to make anybody, I guess, feel left out. So that's all good. Anyways, Valentine's Day happens this week. So don't forget to say Happy Valentine's Day to your beau. And other than that, I think we're going to have to let everybody go because Rob is clearly dying on the other end of this. By the way, how is it that 3 people have gotten strep throat and I have not yet? Knocking on wood. Please don't come for me.
I also haven't gone anywhere near Abbie in 4 days. So.
That's true. But it's impossible to not go near your kids. I'm not scared.
Yeah. All right.
All right, babe. That's it for today. Have a good week. Stay healthy.
This has been a Family Travel Planner production.